Hopefully you can hear me okay. Check 1, 2. All right. Hey, Tracy. Nice to see you. As always, nice to see you, Tracy. Hey, everybody. Oh, Race is here. Race in the house. We're gonna do something fun with Race in a little bit. Cornelius Trio Jazz. Thank you. Thanks for the clapping. So we're gonna do a quick little lesson, short lesson. I don't think I've done this. I mean, this is week 28, believe it or not. I don't know. Ray says he's at the McDonald's drive-through. I have a hard time remembering all of the lessons I've done, but I know I've talked about bebop exploration before, and so today we're gonna actually do that. We're gonna explore the bebop exploration, or what I call it. I don't know if it has a name. I think I've done a video, an actually long form video on this, but I wanted to touch on it. So bebop exploration, what is that? Well, we can isolate a chord. You drink some water, sorry. Isolate, basically it's chord isolation. And we're gonna just explore in there. And you can totally resolve it if you'd like. From Brazil, right on. Thank you. I got a lot of Brazil people in Brazil. That's so cool. I don't know. I have a lot of people hitting me up from there. That's awesome. As always, please ask your questions in the chat on YouTube or on Instagram. And as I'll do the little lesson here first, and then we'll go ahead and do that. And then I'll end the YouTube stream, so we'll jump on Instagram because we're gonna bring Race actually on just to kind of have a chat and have some fun with Race. He's one of my good buds, and yeah, I thought it'd be fun just to bring someone else on. Honduras, very cool. Wow, it's really cool. Everyone and Race is in North Dakota, so that's boring compared to all these countries. Sorry, Race. All right, so bebop exploration. Now you can resolve the chord if you'd like. You can do whatever you want. Today I'm gonna just share a line that I came up with as I was doing some of my bebop exploration, and then and this is a resolved line, and then I'm gonna go ahead and show how I grow off of that line. Okay. Wow, another person from Chile. Oh, another Chilean. All right, very cool. All right, so let me play the line for you. Let me see if I can remember it. But it's a pretty it's just a pretty classic bebop line. I probably just I think we have these tendencies when we play different lines, but this is the line. I liked it because it has an augmented triad in it. It has some enclosures, and it's just got that bebop kind of essence to it. So here's the line. Let me play it for you real quick. Right, so that was slurred and slow, and I am thinking of this as I'm resolving it. So that's a G7 concert to C major. Here it is a little bit sped up and with some articulation. Right, hopefully you can hear that okay. And so what's actually happening here? And I don't really want to explain the line because this is what I want you to think about is exploring this dominant and then the resolution. So maybe we think about it as like, all right, let's extend the dominant a little bit more. So how do we do that? How can we do that? Maybe we can add a couple notes, right? We can add notes from below. Right, start it like that. So we just added it from below. We can add some from above, right? Right, so we can add some like that. And that's just scale stuff. I'm not doing anything fancy there. I'm just doing some scalar. I always mess that up. So we can do some scale stuff there. And how else can we get into this line, right? Maybe we can do something like this. Maybe an arpeggio going to it, right? Or thinking about how do we get there? Maybe chromatically, right? You could do it chromatically. but either way, it doesn't matter. Let's think about the arpeggio approach, right? So if I'm thinking about how do I want this to sound, maybe I do something like right, but I can't do it there because then it doesn't line up, right? I notice like everything's on the and versus like on the beat. So maybe I go here, right? That's just an arpeggio, right? Um, so that was an arpeggio approach. What about linking it to other bebop kind of lines, right? So maybe something like this, maybe a bebop cliche into the line, right? All right, so that really lengthened that five chord there. Now, the goal of this isn't just to play a bunch of stuff fast and play through bebop scales. No, no. The goal of this is to actually hear what you're doing. Like knowing what you're doing, having full control. As you could have probably might have noticed, I slowed down that last line quite a bit, but that was also the longest stream of consciousness I had. So I was predicting and already playing stuff. I was kind of looking ahead. Ja 6768698 says that's awesome. Thank you, Ja. I'm just gonna call you Ja. That's a lot of numbers. Um, but anyways, that is what the goal is. That the goal is how are we kind of hearing these things in our head and then being able to play them before like we're ahead up here before our fingers, right? So I'm already thinking like, where's this line going? What shape do I want? Um, okay, Tracy's jumping over to Instagram. Great. Um, so uh So that think about that. Ask some questions. If I'm going too fast, I will slow down. I'm going to give another example here in a second. But if I'm going too fast, or if this isn't making sense to anybody, please um, ask a question or interrupt me. feel free, feel free to interrupt me. So, but the goal is thinking about that. So like, let me. So here's the line, right? Here's the line. The original line I played. So that's you're always going to hear that at some point in this example. So let me go ahead and do what I just did where I'm going to add some other things into this and see how I can get myself back to that line and then play the line, right? So here we go. I'll start the line the same way, but I'll go a different direction, right? I made it there eventually, right? So that I'm not. This isn't something that like I think the main goal of this exercise, and this is something like literally I just kind of do. I bebop exploration. I mean, I named it that. I've had teachers in the past kind of guide me into this stuff, like whether it be playing like free playing or free practicing or actually thinking about now I am thinking about the chord. I am thinking in tenor key, I'm thinking A7 to D or in concert key G7 to C. I'm very much conscious of that, right? And if I wanted to, I could like say, "Oh, I'm going to throw tritone subs in there. I'm going to restrict myself to something or restrict myself to a range." But right now the goal is to actually hear that but actually to hear like what you're going to do. And that last one I did, yeah, Jaw says that was long, but you got the line at the end. I did. I knew where I was going, but the last one I did a little bit more um I did a little bit more like rhythmic stuff. And you can start adding that stuff in. The first couple times I did it was like straight eighth notes. And maybe you just try to make it straight eighth notes without any breaks. You can do it. The thing is it's fun because there's no rules, right? There's nothing. So Yeah, so that's the Bebop exploration. I wanted to take some time to explain that and to really get some understanding of it and then allow you guys to explore it. And then what we can do is next week we can, if you guys want to ask questions, if you shed it this week or whatever, then let me know, and then we'll talk about it next week. Or if you have questions today, we can revisit it. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Let's Race, if you're still on, just request to join the video. I think I might have one request. Oh, Ja requested. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna end the YouTube stream later. YouTube, always positive, always progressing. Till next time. Later. All right.